morning, students. Hope you all are staying safe at home. Today we will start a new chapter of political science, chapter 1, democracy. Here, as we saw in last year, that what a government is and how it functions, just to refresh your knowledge, I'll let you know about government. It is the body which rules over a country or a state. It makes laws to maintain order in society and it ensures those laws that they are being followed. So at a time, the government, it also has certain responsibilities towards the people. It provides them the basic amenities like healthcare, good roads, railways, housing, drinking water, electricity and parks. Let us learn about types of government across the country, across the world. There are different systems of government which are being taken. Let us take a look at some of the main forms of government. The first one is authoritarian government, where the power is held by one person or a group of people who have not been elected by the people of the country, of course. The rulers here, they have all the power, and people, they are not having no right, no freedom. There are different types of authoritarian government. Let us look on to them as well. The first one is monarchy. There is one king or a queen, that is one ruler who rules over the people. Power there is been it is transferred hereditarily. Britain and Thailand, these are examples of constitutional monarchy where the monarch is answerable to elected parliament, and Brunei is an example of absolute monarchy where monarch it is having the complete authority. The next one is theocracy. A group of religious leaders, they rule in the name of God and they govern on the principles of the religion, like Iran, Saudi Arabia and the Vatican City. These are examples of theocracies. Oligarchy is the next one, where the government is run by a small group of people who hold power and wealth, like a group of aristocrats who were in France the main people who were having money. So the group of powerful men or a racial group, whatever we can say, racial group in South Africa, powerful men in Rome. So the people who form small group who hold all the power and they are having more wealth. The next one is dictatorship. The government, it holds total power and it is ruled by just one person who has been assumed power by force. So Germany under Hitler and Pakistan under Zia ul Haq are the examples. The ruler, they exercises total control, absolute control, and people, they are not having any of the right and freedom. The second form of government is communist government, where the government owns and controls the economy and a single party holds power. There is ban on private ownership and all the means of production, it belongs to the community where all goods are equally shared by the people. Examples includes China and North Korea, as USSR used to be the largest communist country in the world before its dissolution. The third form of government is democratic government, where the citizens rule directly or elect representatives from among themselves to form a body which governs the country. And there are two types of democracies. The first one is direct democracy, where the people, they take part in all the discussions and they participate in decision making directly. This was the earliest form of democracy, and it is only possible in small places, as all the people cannot gather at one place to decide. So examples include ancient Greece. The next one is indirect or representative democracy, as it is run by representatives which are being chosen by the people, where people choose their representatives by voting from elections. So examples include India and the USA. The next topic is elements that make democracy popular in the contemporary world. Yes, democracy, it is the most popular form of government across the world, and the reasons behind it are: first, people's rule, as it is only form of government where citizens are guaranteed a say in decisions of government. People, they choose the representatives through elections, and the representatives, then they go on, they form the government, they rule, they hold ultimate political authority. And if the people do not feel the same about the party, they can take back their opinion. A government which fails to live up, or we can say which does not goes to the expectations of the people, they can get replaced by another. So people, they have the right to freedom. Okay, they have the freedom to raise their voices as well against government decisions which they think they are harmful for the welfare of the people. The next one is equality. In a democracy, everyone is equal in the eyes of law. So the constitution guarantees equality for all and does not allow discrimination on the basis of caste, gender, race, religion, wealth, or language. The next is fundamental rights. As people, they are having basic human rights in a democracy. These rights, they are being protected by law. A person whose fundamental rights are being violated, they can approach to court. There are certain rights which are being assured to citizens of the country by Constitution of India. So they are the right to freedom of speech and action, the right to worship in any form, the right to freedom of information, the right to travel and settle anywhere in the country, and the right to form associations, with right to assemble freely and right to education. So the next one is law and justice. Democracy, it is always having laws to limit the power of government. In democracy, no one is above the law, and the law, it focuses on delivering justice to resolve all the matters in free and fair manner so that everyone gets justice. The next is separation of power. In democratic government, power, it is not concentrated in one body. Then it would be authoritarian government, right? So in democratic government, power is being divided and it consists of three branches: the legislature, executive, and judiciary, which operates and side by side of each other. They keep check on each other and they ensure that other branches do not misuse their power. And this is called the separation of power, where it is very difficult for a person or a group of people in the government to become too powerful and to establish authoritarian rule. The next one is accommodating differences. In a healthy democracy, there are systems which are to be put in place where there is need of different sections of society and to resolve conflict. This ensures that all the differences, it gets settled peacefully through dialogue and negotiation. And the aim of any of the democratic state is to ensure that the rights, values, and sentiments of all the groups and communities, they should be respected. The last one is equality and justice in India. As last year we learnt about main features of democracy, which includes people's participation, conflict resolution, equality, and justice. Of all these features, possibly the most important one was equality and justice for all. As here in certain sections of Indian society like Dalits, which are the group of people which are considered untouchables here in India, tribal people and women, they had been ill treated from a long point of time. When India became independent, the leaders of the country, they realized that there is need to take strong measures to improve their conditions, and there are some of the steps which I'll tell you that government took for them. The first one is Constitution of India. It ensured political, economic, and social equality for all of its citizens. The people above the age of 18, they were granted right to vote in elections, and everyone's vote was respected, would be counted as same value irrespective of their caste, their religion, or their wealth. So Dalits and women, they were being increasingly active in Indian politics, and they have held the highest positions of power in the country, like the seats of ministers, prime ministers, president, and chief ministers. So the government, it has also put in place certain mechanisms. They have launched certain programs for the welfare of disadvantaged groups. They have abolished untouchability, which was a major step which protected the dignity of Dalits. There were seats reserved for people belonging to SCs and STs in parliament, with reserving certain percentage of them in public sector companies. There were several initiatives which were launched to save girl child and to ensure their rights to education. The Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao initiative, it was one of the most important of these initiatives. As everything has been done a lot for the welfare of disadvantaged groups in India, there is much more remaining. But we have to change the attitude of the people, which is the biggest challenge in our democracy. It is very difficult to balance what is just with that is popular. By opening people's mind through education and to reaching people from the weakest section of our society to empowering them, we can become an equal and inclusive society. So students, here is an interesting activity that you have to make a ballot box, a box in which on a particular topic we can vote. So it can be used in your homes as well. If there is a topic, everyone can keep their chits, their opinions, and they vote through that. So start creating a creative and attractive 3D ballot box. Students, try the same, keep learning, and have a good day ahead.